Thank you to John and Thymely Arts for hosting us for our first workshop of the season. Most of our workshops are going to be kind of an hour of me asking questions to these lovely people, and then about 45 minutes of questions at the end. So if you have any questions during tonight, just please hold them and we'll get to you, unless it's extremely urgent. So kind of about the Fringe, since this is our first workshop. The Hollywood Fringe is an annual open access festival, community-driven performing arts event every June. During the Hollywood Fringe, the arts infiltrate the Hollywood neighborhood in different spaces. These venues, as well as other more immersive spaces, which we'll get into later, because you can also bring your own venue in the Fringe Zone. Participation in the Fringe is completely open and uncensored, and by opening the gates to everybody, we're hoping to get the most diverse points of views and cutting-edge work. Now that I've said all these beautiful things, we are running a donor campaign right now. And so if you want to support the Hollywood Fringe and all that we do, you can always go to hollywoodfringe.org/donate, and that is also for you guys watching at home. Hi. Okay, great. So this year's festival, I'm going to go through a bunch of information really quick. Don't worry, it's all coming in your participant emails. So if you are participating in the Hollywood Fringe this year, make sure that you're getting emails from info@hollywoodfringe.org. If you're not, just look that up in your browser, and you'll see that it's probably in your spam, and then you can add us to your contacts, and then we won't go into your spam, and then you'll have all this information. But basically, the previews are going to be June 4th to June 9th, with our opening night party on June 10th, which means nobody schedules shows on June 10th. And then the Festival 2020 itself will run June 11th to the 28th. We also have our upcoming Fringe Town Hall, which is hosted by Ben Hill, our festival director, this Saturday at 6:30 p.m. at the Broadwater. It's pretty important. He spouts a ton of information really, really fast, and it's confusing, but great, and you can also watch it online, like all of our workshops, which are being recorded. Say hello to everybody else. So how to engage now with Hollywood Fringe. Make sure you're signed up for our emails, obviously. Follow us on social media. We're at Hollywood Fringe pretty much everywhere. Start using the hashtag HFF20, which will get you into the thread of what everybody is posting about us, I guess, for this year. And if you have any further questions after tonight, you can always come and talk to any of us on stage. Or email support@hollywoodfringe.org, which is your friendly computer friend. All knowing. Great. So, some parameters for tonight, guys, which all of these venues already know. We don't talk money on stage tonight, but if you have any specific questions, feel free to talk to any of these venues individually after our conversation. And that's basically it. Also, I want to tell you guys about the venue grid. So on hollywoodfringe.org/venues, you can see all the venues that have participated in the Hollywood Fringe and filter your requests by seat numbers or amenities, and also all of these guys are on there as well. Great. Can you guys each give an introduction about who you are and what's your venue? And then we'll go into more deep stuff later. And if you guys could just grab a mic in front of you and kind of share it in your cluster, that'd be great. So do you mind? Yeah. Thanks.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bonnie McMahon. I'm the producing director of Jack's Theatricals. We are at the Met Theater right across the street. And we are thrilled to be here and a part of the Fringe Festival.
Hello, I'm Pedrick Duffy. I run the Broadwater Theater Complex. We have 4 stages over there, and I'm happy to be here.
Hi, I'm Amber Bruegel. I run the Lounge Theater that's on Santa Monica, and then the Zephyr Theater, which is over on Melrose.
Hello, my name is Monica Martin, also known as Monica DiBiasio. I don't know if I have time to go into why. I run the Complex Hollywood. We're on Santa Monica. I have 4 theaters, and thanks for coming out tonight.
Hi, I'm Matthew Quinn. I'm here with my partner, Bertha Rodriguez. We run Theater Asylum and Combined Art Form. We manage and present at 8 different spaces throughout Hollywood that I'm sure I'll have some time to go through them at some point. If not, I'll gladly tell you all about it afterwards. Oh, you got one.
Does this one work? Yeah. Hi, I'm Jen Crafts, and I'm here with my husband Greg over there. We run 3 venues: Studio Stage, a couple blocks down, the Arena Stage, which is a 99-seater off of Hollywood Boulevard, and a new space this year called Howard Fine Acting Studio. Yay! Come ask me about them.
Hi, I'm Janine Wisnowski-Stalen. I'm the managing director of the New American Theater. Jack Stalen is over there. He can answer questions as well. Yay! The New American Theater is in Hollywood, of course, at 1312 North Wilton Place between Fountain and Sunset, and we are a 2-theater complex.
Hi, I'm Zeke Retman. I'm with the Hudson Theaters. We're on Santa Monica Boulevard, that way, across from the complex. We have 3 theaters, and I'll tell you more later.
Hi, I'm Tom McNamara, and I own the Wren Theater. It's on Vine near Melrose.
Hi, I'm Lauren Golston Salazar, and I own the Actors Company. It's a 3-theater venue on 1 block west of La Brea, just off of Santa Monica Boulevard.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Bartlett Allen, and my boss John will be here soon, but I'm representing Foxhole over on Wilcox in Hollywood.
Cool. Awesome. So as I said, at hollywoodfringe.org/venues, that's where you're going to be able to see these guys and others and contact them. And just to give you kind of a sense of what the zone of the Hollywood Fringe is, these are not the exact streets, they're on our website, but this is how I explain it. The top is about Franklin at the north. Our south is about Melrose, about 1 or 2 blocks south actually. And then we come into East Hollywood over here. I don't know the exact street.
Normandy.
Normandy, there we go. And then over on the other side, it's going to be about La Brea. It's not
Gardner.
there. What is it?
Gardner.
Gardner, there's the exact street. Thank you, Dave. All knowing, like I said. But basically, that's the fringe zone. So any place within that can kind of be a venue. And if you have questions about that, you can talk to us directly after the workshop. Cool. So I kind of want to ask a really big question, and I promise not all of them will take as much explanation as this. But how do you manage booking your venue? How do you choose what productions work in your space? And is your venue better for certain genres or types of shows? So basically give a pitch about your venue. And then I'm going to give it.
Oh, I go first.
Unless we want to go the other way.
You go the other way.
Let's go the other way. Then we're doing the other way. Smart.
Okay, no pressure. So Foxhole, it's a brand new space. It's where the Cupcake Theater used to be, if you know that location. And we just did a really big gut renovation. So we've got really great live sound. It's more of an intimate venue, but it's a black box. So it can be something that's more immersive without seats. So things can travel through the lobby. We have another room, a big main theater space, and then like a back room. So if you have something that you want more of a flow, it'll work in our space. And if you want seats, 60 fits comfortably, and you can set up the space in any way that you'd like the audience to be. As far as how we handle bookings, the best thing to do is just come by, see the space, talk to John, who will walk you through and tell you, we'll have packages. So if you do more shows, you get a little bit better of a deal with our bookings, and you can do rehearsals in our space as well. I think I answered all the questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi. So we have 3 theaters. They're very different, so we can accommodate pretty much any kind of show. One of them is a more traditional up to 80-seat theater, and rake stage, 2 dressing rooms, capacity about 20. There's a small intimate space, about 25 seats, great for solo shows, 2-handers, that kind of thing. And then finally we have our the other space. That's the name. And that one is a black box. Everything moves. Platforms, seating, everything moves. And it's a rather large space. Has a bar inside as well. And we have parking in our lot with ample parking, ample street parking. Great neighborhood, great walking neighborhood. The Formosa Cafe just reopened. If you haven't been there, even if you go somewhere else, come. It's beautiful. They've renovated it to look exactly like it did when it first opened in the 1930s. So that's us. Oh, and as far as booking, just send an email to info@theactorscompanyla.com. We'll send you back our brochure, a little bit of information about us, and then if you want to set up a tour, we'd love to have you come over. Okay?
I have the Wren Theater. It's first year we're involved, and it's a 40 seat. We can fit 40 seats in there, and it's a small stage. I would say probably for one-person shows, or maybe 3 or 4 if it's a limited movement. And it's our first year, like I said, and we're excited, and we'd love to have some people come by and get involved. We have our own organization that we do things in there, and it's mostly Celtic stuff that we've been doing in there. The Red is an Irish story that we named it after, and it's Small But Mighty Bird, so we call our theater Small But Mighty.
So we have the Hudson Theater. Hudson Theater's 2 99-seat theaters and a 43-seat theater. We have a structure for how we want to do things, but generally the way we handle bookings starts with an email and then usually a phone call, and then of course we'd love for you to come take a look. And we kind of just listen to what your show is and what your needs are and see how flexible we can be within how we usually do things. We tend to change our rules every year based on who wants to be at the Hudson, so it just comes down to that. But probably our 43-seat space is the most popular because Fringe and budgets and all that. And then one of our 99-seat theaters is actually quite popular too, and the other one tends to be, anyway.
I feel sorry for your unpopular one. Okay. The New American Theater, we have 2 venues, 2 theaters that I mentioned before. One is called the Main Stage, and one is called the Black Box. And our Main Stage has 41 fixed, beautiful peacock blue seats. And our Black Box has the same seats, and that has about 39 seats, and that can flex up to mid-40s with additional seating. The way we do bookings is that you can go on the Fringe site, and I forget the name of the HFF something. You all yes, thank you, HollywoodFringe.org. Or you can go directly to the New American Theater website, which is newamericantheater.com. And there is a button called Rentals, and you would click on that, and you would be able to see some beautiful photos of our lovely spaces and my contact info. You can email me directly, Janine@newamericantheater.com, or rentals@newamericantheater.com, and we can book a tour. That's really the best way to see our theater and learn more about us. Or if we have a production running, we do right now, come see that, and you can see how a play can happen in our space, which is always really good thing to do when you're looking for a theater. You can see exactly how the venue would work for something that you want to do. And we are really excited about the Fringe this year. This is our 3rd year, our 3rd year being actually back in Hollywood. We've been around for 25 years. But it's our 3rd Fringe, and we're really excited. We had a great time last year working with people coming into the Fringe for the first time or old-timers. And we want to meet you and show you the space.
So Stagecrafts has 3 venues, and they're all really different. So Studio Stage, what makes that one really unique, it has a 3-sided curved cyc wall. So you can do beautiful things with lights and projections. We have a high-def projector that we include in all of our rentals because everyone wants to use it there, so it's just included. And that is a couple blocks south of here. Our venues are really spread out. Our other one is the Arena Stage, if you're looking for a big, Studio Stage, by the way, seats 41. But it has quite a big stage. So it's 22 by 18, so it's quite a large stage, but a medium-sized house. We have the arena stage, which is sort of a traditional proscenium. It's a beautiful house. It seats 99. It's a true 99. And it's owned by the Theater of Arts. So the school just renovated the lobby. It has this like beautiful hardwood floor. It's just awesome. And it has a really nice outdoor courtyard to hang out in between shows. It's great. And then Howard Fine Acting Studio is near the McCadden. It is Hollywood and Fountain, Highland and Fountain, and that's a great intimate space. So it's a brand new space. It's new to the Fringe this year, and it is, yay! And it's a really wonderful intimate space, hardwood floors, exposed beams, there's like a chandelier in the ceiling. It's very rustic feeling, but it'd be great for like a two-hander or a one-person show or magic or things like that. So. And Greg and I have also produced every single year at the Fringe since year one. We're crazy Fringe junkies, so we also really love helping new producers. So in order to book with us, the best thing to do is to do a tour. So you can do that either through the Fringe site, look at all the venues, click on us, submit an application. I will respond to all of those. Or you can go to our website, which is thestagecrafts, like artsandcrafts.com. You can see pictures and video tours of all of our venues, and then you can also email us at rentals@thestagecrafts.com. But it all comes to me, and I will respond to it, I promise.
This is Theater Asylum's 10th year for presenting shows as well as producing at the Hollywood Fringe. This year we have 8 different spaces, and we really can, we're welcome to any type of show from solo to full musical. Quickly running through them, Studio C is our solo house. It seats around 32 to 38. That's right on Theater Row. Stephanie Fury is wonderful if you have an ensemble piece that calls for a lot of furniture. They have a wonderful set room in back with sink, refrigerator, all that kind of fun stuff. Theater McCadden is our largest traditional space. It seats up to 60 and has a very large play space as well as a second floor. For non-traditional space, you need go no further than right here by the wonderful Thyme Lee, run by the wonderful John Henningsen over there.
Oh, John.
There are 4 spaces here, from a 20-30 seat house to a 50-60 dance floor type of space. Right behind this wall is a California room that's 50 to 60 seats. And then this room that you're sitting in right now can also be used for large-scale productions. Finally, Black, the Hollywood bar down across the street from the lounge. I'll be booking that spot for solo shows stand-up comedy / storytellers. So think one mic, a spotlight, and you up there. It's going to be new running for this year, so if you are interested in that, let me know. Our process, kind of what everybody's saying, we take it all. Email us, phone call us, go through the Fringe site and apply. Because of the large number of spaces, and also because I produce the Encore or Best of Fringe that follows, we have a form that we ask you to fill out for booking or for submitting for the Encores. There's a bunch of questions there. Any of those ways, we will get back to you. We'll have a phone call conversation, get you a tour, come see the different spaces. You do need to schedule that because there are so many different schedules. But again, echoing everyone, we're really looking forward to this year.
Hello. So this is my 11th year of Fringe, my 8th year of booking at the complex. We have 4 different spaces. We have 3 proscenium stages, which are on the ground floor, and then a black box, which is upstairs. All of our stages have this in common. They have dressing rooms, a lobby space. They have EC, which is great, in June. But they all have like different things about them. The Ruby Theater is a 50-seater. It's a proscenium with a red grand drape, red carpets, and red seats. So it's kind of the jewel of the complex, good for cabarets and burlesque. Solo shows, that sort of thing, and regular shows as well, as long as you don't require a set. And a lot of furniture, then the Ruby's the one for you. The Dory is kind of her sister and is more for drawing room comedies and dramas. It has a built-in set and a balcony, and we do have furniture available as well as a full kitchen set now. We've accumulated that since last year, so it's been kind of cool. We have the Flight upstairs, which is our black box space. That has movable walls and a door unit. They can move all over the place very easily. So it's great for set changes and interesting configurations. It's our widest stage, so it's great for either solo shows or ensemble pieces. We also have the OMR, the Oh My Ribs Theater, which is usually run by a comedy group, but we take it back in June and use it for musicals. We do a full sound package in there, meant to be for musicals. Has sliding walls in the back that allow you some variety in entrances and exits and background. All of the theaters do have full lighting, sound, and projections. That's all included in the price. We run your box office, and I do provide a stage manager for each space, so you should know that. And we do 2-hour time slots, so you should know that. To contract with us, you just need to give us a phone call. We do tours on Tuesday and Thursday from 3 to 6, but you can come in and see us anytime. We're open 7 days a week from 11 to 7. And I love to talk to you on the phone. I love to meet you. I'd like to talk about your show and help you find the best space for you. And if it's not at my venue, then I am happy to refer any of these lovely venues to you, because I think it's really important that you find the right space for your show. My team is great. They're all theater professionals, and anybody that you work with at my space really wants you to be a success. So I hope you'll come down and give us a look. Thanks.
I don't want to follow that. I mean, that was just so on and welcoming and. All right. So I run the Lounge Theater and the Zephyr Theater. I'll talk a little bit about the Lounge first. We have 2 theaters there. We have Lounge 1 and Lounge 2. Lounge 2's, anyways. Lounge 1 has 50 seats, max of 58. It's got some beautiful exposed brick in there, red seats. We have a couple rolling flats for Fringe. It's great for really any show can go in there because it feels intimate but can also be large. Dressing room, shared lobby, 2 patron restrooms, and yeah, it's great for pretty much anything. And then we have the Zephyr Theater this year, which is new. We brought it in. I'm very excited about that one. It's a 3/4 thrust, so it has audience on 3 sides. And I think we're gonna do for Fringe as well. If they wanted to an audience on the 4th side as well, we could do in the round easily. It's really gonna be great for longer running shows or musicals or larger cast sizes. We have 2 dressing rooms there, and we do have a lot of storage, which is coveted, and I'm excited about, because at the Lounge we don't have storage. I won't lie about that. So we have the Zephyr. It's 84 seats. It's got a lovely courtyard right in front. It's on Melrose Avenue, surrounded by restaurants and bars and shops and stuff. I forgot what else I was gonna say, so I'll pass it on.
Hi. So the Broadwater has 4 spaces of all varying sizes. So usually it's sort of a Goldilocks of spaces. You can find the one that fits your show. Our largest space is our main stage, which is 96 seats, a fairly large playing space. So it's really good for large musicals. We've done every size. We've done a 1-person show there. But really we can handle big musicals in there. We recently upgraded all of our sound in there. Don't ask me what. I'd have to get my technical director here, but he tells me it's really awesome. It has its own suite of bathrooms, its own lobby that opens up on Lillian Way. We're on Santa Monica, just 1 block east of Vine. So that's our main stage space. There's some storage there as well. A fairly large dressing room. Going down, our next space is our second stage, which is 72 seats. It's proscenium stage. And so it's a much smaller playing space. So it's sort of a place where if your show is smaller, but you still feel like you need more seats for whatever reason, it's a nice place to be able to get people in, but it's not an overwhelming size playing space. That also has its own dressing room, lobby. Our 3 biggest spaces have their own lobbies from the street, so they all feel like sort of separate places. Our next space is our black box, which is a 50-seat black box we do within 3/4 for Fringe, and that's a wonderful space for very intimate shows. But again, we've done 15-person farces in there. So, and then our smallest space is our studio space. It doesn't have its own. It's sort of it's a 21-seat space. So it's our little guerrilla theater space. There's no dressing room. There's no lobby. You just get in there and do some theater. But they're all sort of different, nice size spaces for whatever you need to do. We also have in the complex have a full service bar called the Plunge. So you can't take drinks into the spaces, or the cops will be very mad at me. But we do have a bar there that's open, has regular hours, and so it's a wonderful gathering place during Fringe for not only all the shows in our building, but all the shows down the street and all these wonderful places. The way we book is very similar. Rentals at thebroadwaterla.com. You can check out pictures on thebroadwaterla.com of all of our spaces. Once you email us, we'll send you the packet that gives us gives you all the information, and then you can schedule a visit. I'll be the one dealing with you, so we'll find the schedule that works for you, the package, the theater, and we'll go from there. And I think that's it as well.
My turn. Hi, we're at the Met Theater. Jack's Theatricals right across the street. We're very happy to be in the neighborhood. We have 2 spaces. We have our upstairs main stage, 99 seats. Not a bad seat in the house. And again, really large stage, great for accommodating large musicals. A glorious backstage that can hold a large cast. Refrigerator, kitchen, all of that in the back. And then we have our downstairs space, our small black box theater. It's 32 seats. Also has its own restroom and bar and lobby. So each space can accommodate its own experience. We manage all of our booking through Peerspace. So any questions you have about tech, dates that are available, tours, we streamline everything through Peerspace. We're happy to be here.
That was a lot of information. And I promise that these answers are going to be semi-quicker. And I want to try this, but if it fails, it's okay. I want to kind of popcorn this next question, so it's not just like down the line. And if that doesn't work, then we'll go back to the old way. But I wanted to ask, what requests get your attention first? Like emails, phone calls, in person, and also like the specific way that people might ask these requests. Does that have any effect? Anybody can?
No, bring it all good. All good.
Yeah.
You respond to everything.
Just for us, contact us first. Don't just show up because we don't.
Yeah, that's it. We prefer tours only because we're a very busy complex and things could already be booked. So you can come into tour and we can't show you anything. We can certainly talk to you, but we'd still have to schedule a tour with you to find the space.
And I would say email as much details as possible, ins and outs, times, dates, and what your show requires. It just helps streamline the conversation a little bit.
Also, if you do the application through the Fringe site, all of that stuff is available. So you can put everything in there and do the same thing to all of us. So that you can go tour everyone and we all have your information that way.
Although doing it through the Fringe site, it's also nice to follow up with an email.
Yeah.
Just because we all
If you don't hear back.
If you don't hear back, follow up. Give it a little time. We get busy. Starting now, it's starting to pick up, especially after this event.
It's also really nice too, I'm sure for everyone else with multiple spaces, it's nice when I'm asked specifically about a space. So I sometimes I get a lot of requests through the Fringe site that's the same show for all 3 venues. And I'm like, I know you don't fit all 3 venues. They're all super different. So definitely take a look at the venues that you like and reach out to that one.
I also know a lot of venues will have open houses, so that's just times when you can come and it's just open, and you can come at any point in that time frame to come see the spaces. We have one this Saturday.
Yeah, we have some coming up too.
Yeah. Fringe is really good. They'll send out tour schedules later on where all of us will put what our tour times are. But still, I think most of us appreciate some sort of connection to coming in that time.
That's where that info at Hollywood Fringe is really important. So I also kind of want to popcorn this, and I'm going to keep talking with the mic because I don't want to talk loud. But are there any pro tips for booking time slots with your venue? And also for people who haven't done Fringe before, what are some good times to try and book, like other than 8 p.m. on a Saturday, which everybody wants, but might not be the most popular?
Okay, yeah, my line is any time slot is a good time slot in Fringe. It's how you promote it and how you market it. All of them are good, and you should do a wide smattering of all different times, days, and dates. That is the best plan to get the most out of your audience for each page.
It's not like regular runs where you're Saturday at 8 o'clock. Saturday at 8 o'clock, you're competing with every single venue versus Wednesday night at 8 or Friday at 10. You know, other options. I've seen a Wednesday at noon sell out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a couple years ago, but you know, anything is possible if you market it right. I know Sunday or Saturday morning shows, they market it as, you know, mimosas and whatever.
Yeah, donuts
as long
and coffee.
As you're, yeah, donuts and coffee, whatever.
I would add to that the various times, but also spreading it out as much as possible. That first June 4th through June 9th is preview week. Most people do one show. And then spreading them out, because you really are going to need that time to build your audience, to go see people's shows. So it really is spread out times and slots, spread out over the month of June.
And talk with your venue too about how each individual venue deals with scheduling, because we all do it differently. In our venue, because I just can't wrap my head around anything else, we do all of our scheduling, like all of our scheduling is done. So you can talk to me tonight, like I would show you all of my schedules and then you pick one. So generally we do packages of 5, but because that's how we've just found sort of the sweet spot in terms of like building your audience and getting buzz, and then we try to make it fair for everyone, where everyone gets, you know, a prime time, a late night, a matinee, a weekday evening, things like that. But some people do it differently, so just definitely check with your venue and see how everyone does it.
Many of us do have venue packets, information packets, one-sheeters that will give you kind of a picture. And most of us have been doing this for a while. You'll see similar styles.
Because all shows are different, you know your show best, what kind of audience you think it might appeal to as well. So at our venue, we do work with you regarding that. Like for instance, last year we had a magician who had who appealed to both children and he turned his show a little bluer later on. So he had 2 audiences that he could appeal to. So we accommodated him and made sure that he was spread out enough that he could, be able to collect audiences, of different types. And then also we look to see what shows would kind of fit together as well, which I think really makes it a lot easier for us and for people who come in our venue.
Cool. I kind of also wanted to go down the line with this one because it's different for everyone. How does tech/rehearsal time work at your venue? You want to start? Are you good? Are you good?
I think it's pending what's going on in our space. So, I mean, it's really a case-by-case situation. So obviously we're flexible and we just work with the producer and make sure that we can accommodate everyone's needs, depending on what's going on.
So we have, you get 2 hours of tech and 2 hours of rehearsal. You get twice your running time in rehearsal and then tech. So you have a 60-minute performance, you're going to get 2 hours of tech, 2 hours of rehearsal. We don't make that first come, first serve, because that would be crazy. So we hold everyone back until a certain time where we booked everyone, and then my production manager will reach out to all of our fringers and find out their, the schedule conflicts, the specifics about their show. We'll make sure everyone can get their tech, they're included tech and rehearsal. And then once that is done, then any other time people are welcome to book. We give a discounted rental rate to our Fringe people in our building, so then you can book as much as you want. And we've, a lot of people just do their included tech time and rehearsal time. We've also, every year we'll have someone who wants to rehearse their whole show. So they'll book 30 hours extra, and they basically just take up residence. So, we'll work with you on that. And that does become first come, first serve because we'll run out of space. But we really, our whole complex, about 2 or 3 weeks before Fringe starts, everything, we clear the decks like a lot of places. And all it is just getting the Fringe shows ready, helping you get ready. What else was there? That was, okay.
I'll touch on rehearsals first. We, outside of Fringe, we have 10 spaces total. So for rehearsals, if you're a Fringer, whether you book with us or not, we will give you a discounted rehearsal rate at any one of our spaces. So you can, again, whether you're booked with us or not, you can reach out for rehearsal times. We almost at any time have a space open. And then for our tech time, if you book with us, we, again, give you discounted rates, and you get 2 hours free of tech time included in your rental. And then, yes, I'm not talking money. Don't slip up. And then, so we do tech time starting May 25th. So anything after May 25th, it's spoken for. Anything before May 25th is first come, first serve, whether we have it available or not. I think that answers all the questions.
So we give you 3 hours of free tech time in the space. Aside from that, we have also 5 rehearsal studios, which are upstairs, and we do a special rental rate for our participants. You can also get more tech time if you feel like you need it, and we do offer you a discount on that as well.
So similar to what Pedrick was talking about, we do have tech and rehearsal, and we wait until we program the rest of the season and take that in. You get twice your show length for free tech time, and then we do offer rehearsal discounts for asylum renters in all of our spaces. What's particularly interesting for everyone is thymally. Each one of these spaces really can represent almost any space that's up here on the stage, dimension-wise, and mark it out. So this rents throughout the whole year for rehearsal space. And so it's something that you, even if one of our spaces is booked, you can usually find a spot here. And I forgot to mention John. John also, we have a nice little bar that runs here during the Fringe Festival in Los Ocho. Forgot about that one. But in terms of that, tech rehearsal, just check with us as you sign up to make sure we get you all the time you need.
We're doing mics now? Okay. We're doing mics now. Okay. It's fine, whatever. So we do tech and dress rehearsals. So we do it a little bit differently. We include in our packages a tech that is 3 times the length of your show. So if you have an hour-long slot, you get 3 hours of tech time. Plus, you have a dress rehearsal, usually a week later, that is twice the length of your show. So the goal is to get your show completely teched, and then you go off and continue rehearsing, and then you come back and you actually run the show with your full tech. Because of that, our techs start quite early in May, because we do have to get everyone in. But it's very, very helpful. You never get anyone at preview who's like, hey guys, we're running tech for the first time in front of an audience. So we just wanted to eliminate that. And then in terms of rehearsal, we do discounted rates for our Fringers in all of our spaces. So you may be booked in one space, but you rehearse in another, but we'll find you a space somewhere to rehearse. But yeah, and then also all of our techs and dresses are already scheduled. So they're within the package. So when you book with us right away, you'll have your tech, your dress, and all your shows. You'll know them right now. So it makes it nice to plan with your cast.
Thank you for the microphone.
There you go. We're doing mics.
We at the New American Theater, we also, the question was what?
Tech and rehearsal time, yeah.
Yeah, we offer, we have 2 spaces, and the technical rehearsals are in the space that you would be renting for the Fringe. And we also offer free tech time, rehearsal time, for your show that's kind of equal to double the length of your show, I believe. 60 minutes is that right, Jack? 2 hours for a 60-minute show and equivalent to that for a 90-minute show, or whatever you have. Some shows are 2 hours. And we book the tech rehearsal time after we figure out with you what your schedule is. For instance, there are some people who are coming from out of town who will not be able to do a technical rehearsal till they get in, may want to do a show just one weekend. So we make sure that everyone's accommodated and that you can do your tech rehearsal with enough time, with enough confidence to present your show.
That sounds kind of like my answer. Well, we do 2 hours included. We include the stage manager. We include the stage manager for the performances and for the tech. We include 2 hours. That's kind of if you're doing 3 performances. If you're doing more performances, we usually throw in more time if you want it. Everything's flexible. Well, I mean, if you're doing a show on June 17th, we usually look at that schedule and we decide, okay, so if your first show is June 17th, you probably want to have your tech close to your first show. So we kind of don't, we don't book, this is the Hudson Theater, by the way, I'm talking about. We don't do a ton of bookings. We'll book kind of a finite amount of, everybody books finite, but we'll book 2 slots a night usually, and we kind of say, this is when we want to, we look at our schedule and kind of how we want to structure it. And we kind of give you advice on when maybe you should do your tech, and we give you a handful of options, and you kind of choose from it. It kind of goes like that.
The Ren Theater, we give you twice your show length, free tech, and everything else beyond that's negotiable and discounted.
Yeah, same. We do provide we do have the tech people. If you have a very complex show and you feel like you need somebody in the booth, they can be additionally in the booth as well if you want somebody to call the show. But our tech people can handle sound, video, and lighting and just be fine. And double the length, and then anything additional. As far as when we book it, we book all of our shows towards the end of March as far as scheduling. That way, if you do have last-minute cast changes, all of a sudden you're invited to a wedding in the middle of June, you can give us your conflicts pretty late into the scheduling. Then we try and make a very fair and equitable schedule based on everyone's conflicts, and then we take care of the tech part of it at the in mid-May. So at that point, we get everybody's conflicts because things evolve and change, and all of a sudden you recast somebody, and this is Fringe. This happens. So therefore, you can just let us know and keep us abreast of things.
Hi, thanks. At Foxhole, I don't know if Lindsay mentioned, but this is our first year doing Fringe. We're a new venue, and we're coming into it with open arms. We love Fringe. We've been big fans for a long time now. We have a place that we can rent out for people to do their own projects. And so with techs and rehearsals, it's similar to these people. You get twice your show length of technical rehearsal and then twice your show length of rehearsals. And then anything outside of that, we throw deep discounts to anyone involved in Fringe. But more than that, we're excited to be involved, and we are very flexible on people's conflicts and schedules, and really just want to create amazing pieces for the Fringe. That's pretty much it. Thanks.
Cool. Let's popcorn again. And let's also talk about time again, because I kind of want to know, especially from you veteran venue managers, what are some typical time slots that people book? Do they do like a 30-minute show, a 60-minute show, a 90-minute show, or is it everything in between? Or 3-hour shows? Are there usually 3-hour shows at Fringe?
No.
Right, yeah. So what are some typical time slots that people
60
book?
minutes seems to be a sweet spot because people in Fringe, they like to jump around and see shows. So especially the multiple venues, they may come and then sit down and say, I'm going to see 3 shows, 3 one-hour shows, and they'll say, what's next? What's next? And they'll just jump around. So 60 minutes seems to be really good. 90 minutes, good. 2 hours, it better be great because people, that's a destination show for them. And even in that case, during the year, people's attention spans are like nowhere anymore. That 2 hours is just like too much of a commitment. But it's not impossible. I mean, particularly musicals can do okay with a 2-hour slot, but 1 hour.
2 hours too gets tough because you have to start figuring intermission. And intermission on a time-sensitive festival can be very tough. It's guaranteeing your audience is going to be back in time for your show to finish on time. So you may need to do an extra buffer of time for a 2-hour show. I would just add that normally we book about 84 shows for Fringe. We used to get 1 or 2 30-minute shows. Last year we had 8 30-minute shows, and I think there was about 16 throughout Fringe. So that format, I think, is a really popular format. It's kind of unique to Fringe, but it's hard to have an independent run with a 30-minute show. So, and everything in between we've seen. There was a 15-minute show a couple years ago, 15-minute.
Yeah, and then usually we'll just like put them, what I suggest is if it's a 30-minute or less, that you take a time slot like we do the 2 hours and do 2 shows back to back. The little time in between, so you don't have a big changeover. And it's kind of fun, it gets everybody hyped up. So that's another option.
And with a 30-minute show, you could be a scheduler's favorite show.
Yeah.
Because there are little gaps sometimes. You could just make it all perfect. So.
Yeah. Also, if this is a new show, a lot of Fringe shows are, and you're writing it and you're thinking, what can be the, what length it could be, and you love the writing and you don't want to cut it down, just remember that old adage, always leave the audience wanting more. And you can always lengthen it if it, goes really well and you have that stuff that you want to put back in for another time. But I would say that, keeping it shorter, under 90 minutes is always best for the audience and for the tightening and creating of your project.
And on that note too, if you have a new show that you are writing, or just any show that you're bringing, and I'm sure everyone will agree, sort of the like cardinal sin of Fringe, other than being a jerk, don't be a jerk. That's the first rule. The second rule is you have to start and end on time, and people will walk out of your show if it's going over the advertised time. And it's not because they're jerks about it, it's just because they have tickets to something else, somewhere else in Fringe, and they gotta go. So, and that's really something that we are very, like, as venue managers, we really try to help you out with that as well. We will stay on you about that, because it is just so very important for your success. That will kind of, people tend to be pretty kind at Fringe, but boy, that will get around. If someone's like, they were running 20 minutes over and I missed a show that I paid for tickets for. It's not going to go well.
It's also not fair to the next show in that's loading in. They're sitting there waiting, their audience is waiting, and you're still running your show.
And some venues will, like in our contract, we will stop your show after 5 minutes over. So, because another show is coming in and we have to be respectful to everyone.
Also, if you are thinking of touring your production, if you're thinking of doing the Fringe circuit, there are a lot of Fringes that it has to be less than 60 minutes. So if you're using this as a workshop for future touring, this is a good time to kind of trim it to that length if you're thinking that.
I've also noticed a trend, I don't know if you share it, but this is our 5th year managing, and the first year, the vast majority were 60-minute pieces, and every year I feel like the pieces are generally getting longer. I have a lot of 90, I'll get like a lot more 90 minutes, a lot more, so getting short and sweet is actually sort of bucking that trend, and I think it'll stand out.
Yeah, 30-minute shows.
30-minute shows are really cool.
Let's kind of talk really quickly, and then if you want to add to this right after that, let's talk about this load in, load out thing. I know for every venue it's really different, but could we kind of speak to what that is for you? Yeah, we can popcorn because I think everybody that's kind of similar will go first and then different later.
So at our venue runs differently. So at the Zephyr, we put 15 minutes on either side of your run time. So you have 15 minutes to load in and 15 minutes to load out. Whereas at the Lounge, we rent in 2-hour blocks. So if you have an hour show, you get 30 minutes to load in and 30 minutes to load out. So it really just depends on the format, but most of the time, most of the venues you want to aim for being able to load in and out, and that includes audience, in 15 minutes.
Same, we do 15 minutes in and out. And also, we try to help you guys out in terms of doing that. I've definitely had some shows come to me freaking out Like, I have 20 people in my cast, there's no way I can do it. And I'm like, I've done it with 28, you can do it, I promise you. And so we talk about that too in like our venue orientation meetings about rehearsing your load in and load out, how to organize your props, how to organize your actors. Like, we as producers, we have a whole rehearsal that we dedicate only to loading in and out. but they get in and out in like 5 minutes then. So you can do it. I promise you can do it. Yeah.
We do 2-hour time slots. After many years of booking 15 in and 15 out, I decided before last year to do a 2-hour and see how it worked out. And I've been very pleased with it, and a lot of people that have done Fringe with me multiple years have been pleased to just have a little bit more extra time to breathe. My whole thing behind it is that I'm hoping that it can be a little bit more about the work and not so much about the rush. But sometimes if you're just going out and you're a solo performer and you have a box of props, you don't need half an hour. If you want to do something a little bit more elaborate, then you might want to, just to have a little time to breathe. And that's something to think about, I think, when you're working on your show, and what do you think you would need? Like, what's your dream, and what can make that happen? What time would work for you the best?
Oh, sorry. Oh, just going off of that same thing, if you're developing your show, you realize that it's running about 70, I would say book a 90-minute slot, keep it at 70 instead of trying to cut 10 minutes and maybe make it just at 60. Like, have some breathing room if you can have it. That's the best.
And I would say if you do know coming in that you need a lot more time setting up, I think all of us would gladly add time to whatever you need. I think most of us probably book in half-hour increments, so that's something to keep in mind. But also times of shows don't have to start at 8 o'clock, 8:30, it can be 8:15, 8:20. So talk to any of us, and you know your show and we know our space to see what makes sense so you have enough tech time.
We also at our venue, because we a resident theater, Sacred Fools is the resident theater company, and we sort of all gather about and try to make Fringe work at our space. So we usually pick a really loud color for a t-shirt and make a bunch of them, and then I make a lot of company members stand outside in the hot sun and wear these t-shirts. And there's sort of like helpful Honda.
The ambassador.
The ambassador. So they will try to aid in every way, help your patrons know where to go, help your actors know where to go. You know, this is your kiosk, this is where you're gonna sell your tickets, that's your door. You know, the stage manager's gonna come out and let you know the house is open. We try to get the trains running with these quick in and outs pretty quickly. And they even, I have a volunteer who makes a list of every actor in every show in our building. Wow. So that if someone says, I'm here to see Joe's show.
That happens.
She can go.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I didn't have time for it. She decided she was going to do it. Yeah.
I would also say,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Laura.
Okay, I just want to say to the end of load in, load out, ours is also 15 minutes in, 15 minutes out. We do have the parking lot. We reserve one spot for each production for your load in, load out car. So it's right there, 10 feet away from the door. So it's very easy to just load it up, load it out. You know everybody's going to show up. There's ample parking. We also do handle the box office. You give us your receipts, your box office list, and we make sure everybody knows what theater they're going to. We also have house managers that help them so that you don't have to spend any time on the ticketing. You just are going to open the door, you're going to sit down in a minute and a half, and then you're going to start your show. So it makes for a very smooth. When we didn't do that years ago, people were going in the wrong theater and sitting down watching a show and then realizing halfway through that Joe's not in this show.
Jen kind of mentioned it. I think a lot of us do this. We'll have a tech day prior to your tech time where we all walk through, you meet your tech person, and you can practice load in, load out, work it to kind of get it time before your tech time, so you're not using your tech time to kind of figure out that kind of basic stuff.
What about our newer venues? And then, we can come back. Go ahead.
Sorry, really quickly. Use your actors. to help you load in and out. Like, you know, regular run shows, you don't use your actors. No, in Fringe, you use your actors shamelessly.
Ask them though.
What I would do with our, when we had a big ensemble piece is I would go to IKEA and I would get those blue bags for like a quarter or whatever, and I would put every actor's name on the blue bag. And then I would hand them to the actors and say, all of your props and costumes go in the blue bag, and I will never touch them again. If you lose the blue bag, you're going on naked. They never lost the blue bag. And then everyone was in charge of their own stuff. Load in, load out was fast. Blue bags.
Well, at the Ren, it's like I said, it's the Ren is the smallest bird in Ireland, so you could probably move the entire theater out in 15 minutes. So we're not going to worry about it. But we have 15 minutes on each end, and we can adjust if necessary. But I doubt that we're not going to be doing Shakespeare or anything there.
You never know.
Well, not with a lot of props.
Anyone else? You want to go?
Yeah, you know, we're just, you know, we're learning as we go here for this first Fringe, but yeah, with load-in, we've got a beautiful parking lot in the back of our space, and the attendants are really cool with you, you know, pulling in and loading things in for, you know, 15, 20 minutes. So anybody that's doing a production at our space will find load-in very easy. Unless there's crazy schedule conflicts, we're not going to be too hard pressed on getting in and out on certain times. We're going to do everything that we can to assist you, to make sure that you guys get in, you feel comfortable, and set up for success. Yeah, and like anything else, we'll just, you know, we'll have everything sort of detailed out itinerary-wise. We know the exact times things are coming in, and we'll go from there. Cool.
Anyone in the middle? Zeke?
I'll just say that the Hudson's a little different because we don't do load in and load out so much. We do 2-hour blocks. But you can keep your stuff at the theater for the most part. We give each production a decent amount of space to store their props and costumes and set to a certain degree. I mean, you got a ton of stuff, maybe some of it has to come and go. But that would be the only thing I'd mention. Because it's different, maybe.
Yeah, rare. You good? All right, we're good. We're moving on. Do you have any other services at your venue that you offer? Box office, tech staff, stage manager? Are there additional costs without using dollar numbers, and are they required?
Are we just going down?
Yeah, you can just go. Then we can just go. Yeah, extra. So it's your. Do you have extra staff that you have? Box office, tech staff, stage managers. Are there additional costs with that, and are they required?
We yes, we have all of that staff available, and again, I think it's just a case by case. So what the producer's needs are and how we can match that, but we do have all of that in house and can absolutely provide it. We also do offer a discount. Yeah.
So we have the ambassadors, the helpful Honda people running around with their lists. We haven't picked a color yet. I don't know what it's gonna be. We have someone on site at all times that know what a light is and what someone, either our technical director's on site or our production manager. Basically, not me. I'm always on site, but I'm not the one to go to. We do on our 3 biggest venues. We do have a resident stage manager that runs that space for Fringe that you're required to hire. Our smallest space, we have someone available that you can hire, but we do not require it. But we have found because of the amount of shows coming through that it really is it's worth everyone's while to hire these. We have the same stage managers who've been doing it for 5 years, and so they make the trains run real fast. So and then yeah.
So most venues have in-house tech people that are required because in past years we would have actors and directors and people running the tech stuff, and they would delete the light cues. It's happened. Yes. So, yes, and all shows, not just one, all shows. So that is why most of the venues have in-house tech people, is to protect your show. We have in-house tech people that you do hire. We do have box office people. What was the other one? Oh, we have a lovely technical director who's in the back of the house, Josh, for all of our spaces. And I think that's it.
We provide a stage manager for each space. My stage managers have been with me most for over 5 years. They take that, it's their house, they take it very seriously, and they'll become your most favorite person in Fringe. They do cost extra, and they're worth it. And then we do box office for you because we're such a busy venue. We just discovered doing it on the sidewalk with big bars and checking people in on the sidewalk keeps the noise factor down inside the theater because we can hold everyone outside. It also frees you up. You don't need to get a volunteer to come in and run your box office and get a bank for cash at the door and so on and so forth. We take care of all that for you for a very small fee. I also have, again, we are #Team Complex. I'm trying to get it started. Trying to get it started this year, #Team Complex. And they're all Fringe veterans, and they're around the building. I have a technical director. Pretty much anything you need in that area, we can take care of.
We also have in-house tech people that come with each space. That you pay separately and that know the space in and out are all Fringe veterans. Box office, we provide support. So we suggest that you run your own box office, but we do a lot of work for you guys to meet each other and help each other out. If you absolutely need someone, you can come to us and we can set you up with somebody for a small fee. In terms of additional services, we do that Facebook, Twitter, email blast. My partner, Berta Rodriguez, offers PR management services. And this year, for the first time, I went to Edinburgh Fringe last year and gleaned several kind of original ideas from there that we're incorporating this year. So if you join our asylum package, we have package rates that include the insurance and the space and everything. We're also going to have a promotion package. So every show, every member of the cast of that show will get a lanyard, an asylum lanyard, that they'll be able to go see other shows in asylum and take the free seats after the show has already been seated to help fill the house. This is something they do in Edinburgh and San Diego Fringe. We're also going to have our own asylum venue guide. So along with the wonderful Hollywood Fringe guide, we'll have one just with asylum shows and friends of asylum who will have their own map, places to go to, and kind of bring all of our asylum shows together. We're also looking to expand this. It will be included with your asylum renters, but if you're not in asylum, you can still come join, get the lanyard, be in the guide, and also starting in March, we'll do weekly PR promotion sessions right before office hours, where we get together, talk publicity, PR, and doing everything to get butts in seats. Thank you.
That's fancy.
Fancy.
I like it.
Edinburgh. Go to Edinburgh.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Get your mind blown.
Yeah, I love it. So at Stagecraft venues, same thing as these guys. We do have venue stage managers. Again, they are a separate cost, but they do save your show. Before we were venue managers, we have a theater company, we were renting, we had a musical, had 137 light cues, and someone's buddy was running the boards in another show. It was before we required venue stage managers, and they were all erased after tech. And that happened 2 more times throughout the Fringe. So that is why we do venue stage managers, and they are wonderful. They are Fringe veterans. They've all worked in the venues. They can kind of troubleshoot on the fly, and they're going to keep your show moving smoothly. The other thing that we do is we have box office people as well. Again, it just keeps your show running smoothly. It's a very low fee. But it does eliminate someone walking into your show and going, "Is this Steve's show?" Because it happens. Unless you're at the Redwater, then you can ask them.
Get that person to know
Where's Steve? I don't know. So we do that. The other thing that we do, just because we've been producing at Fringe and in LA for like 10 years, we have a vendor list that we do share with all of our renters. So if you need, designers or
like media people or graphic designers or press lists, things like that. We share that with you as well. I do a like a weekly, starting around March, I kind of do like a weekly Friday Fringe Tips email that will just kind of let everyone know the social events that are coming up that coming week, because that's super important, where you should kind of be in your Fringe development. I'm always there to answer any questions, things like that. So yeah, we try to help everyone out as much as possible. Greg and I also run a Facebook group that's very, very, it's really active during Fringe. It's Hollywood, it's LA Theater and Hollywood Fringe. Is it?
Hollywood Fringe.
What do I know?
What do you know?
I just run it. It's Greg's over there. Hollywood Fringe and LA Theater. So it is active the whole rest of the year, but during Fringe it's crazy active, and that's a great place to put your, discount codes and talk about other shows that you saw that was really great and recommend people, things like that. Please go ahead and join that group, but for the love, please answer the questions. I only let people in that answer the questions, and they're simple questions, just to find out if you're a robot or not, because no robots allowed. So we are just there to help you out as much as possible. Greg is kind of our tech guy, sort of. We are both very hands-on during the Fringe. We sort of sit there with our cell phones like ready to go. So we kind of bounce around to all of our venues throughout Fringe and help you out as much as possible.
Okay, so I forget. Hopefully I remember the question. The question was.
The question is, do you have any other services at your venues, like box office, tech staff, etc.? And are they available at an additional cost, not dollar signs, and are they required?
Okay, great. So at the New American Theater, we do have our stage manager that we, just like everybody else, we ask that you hire our stage manager. You pay the stage manager a separate fee, and you'll be so happy that you did. We do suggest that you have your own box office person, because we don't want to handle your money. It's your money. But you can hire one of our people who work for us at a separate fee, a small fee. We have a house manager who is there at all times, so that if you're writing and producing and directing and acting in your show, there is somebody outside the production guarding the space and making sure that everything runs smoothly inside. Because I have done this where I have run the box office and then went and made the first entrance in a show, and it's very, very stressful, and it's always and that was at the Hudson Theater. Yes, my first show at the Hudson in LA. That was a long. Excuse me.
Before my time.
Okay, all right.
Before I was in charge of. I'm on microphone, so.
All right, we'll just take this outside. All right. Anyway, we also have marketing and publicity services for an extra fee, but for the fee included, we also do some things that help you. I'm a theater producer myself, and I know how hard it is to get publicity and eyeballs on even the title of your show and where to go. So we do a couple extra things that are included. We have a couple Facebook pages for the New American Theater, and then so we promote your shows and ask people to support your shows there online. We have a website. We have a Fringe section on our website where we put the names and the titles of every show and people who are in it and all the information about when it is and how to get there. And then in the front of our building, we have a banner where we put the name and the logo and a little blurb about every single show that's in our. I hear some some blurbs about every show. So let's say Joe is in the one show, the famous Joe, and the people who are outside in the line waiting to see that show can see all the other shows that are happening too, and they might just stay and see your show and vice versa. So we think that's really helpful. And we also have a Twitter account, and we tweet out things. So it is our goal to help you have the most successful Hollywood Fringe ever, because your success is our success. We're all together on that. So we know what it's like, so we are here to help.
Well done.
Yes, now I will hand this to you, younger man.
Well, no, I see, all I meant was that anything that would have happened 6 to 7 months ago might be different. That's all I meant. At the Hudson Theater, we include at no additional cost a stage manager, a box office host, a house manager. There's a restaurant at the Hudson, there's a cafe at the Hudson, we have a big marquee. All of the Fringe shows are represented on the marquee throughout the month at some point or another, and some longer than others. We have valet parking service. What else am I missing, Harry?
French sandwich board.
Sandwich boards that go on the sidewalk, good one. Yeah. Instagram, social media. Yeah. That's it. Okay.
We do have a stage manager and box office that we ask you to use, for small fees. And one of the other things we offer is I also own the Irish import shop, and if you need sausages or bacon, marmalade, Cadbury chocolate, anything from England or Ireland, we got it for you.
Is that good for venues too?
Yeah.
Can we,
Oh, if you guys want to have some, we'll even give you, anyone that's here and spread the word, we'll give you a discount.
Sausages and chocolate. Hi, we do, like I mentioned before, we handle box office, it's included. We also handle concessions, it's included. House management, it's included. And we do blasts to our 20,000 email base, that's included. And we also have a party for the people that are participating within our venue, so that you all get to know each other and be social and support each other and realize that you're not the only show and that you're sharing this venue with lots of other people. And it tends to make a nice little Fringe community within the Fringe community. And what else do we do? We do provide stage managers. They are at an additional fee, but it is rolled into your initial package, so you don't have to be tracking down with $30 in your pocket somebody, during Fringe. Yeah, that's it.
Parking. We got lots of parking.
Yes.
Lots of places to park at comparable rates. $7 before 8 p.m., $10 after. It's all night. You can leave your car there all night. I have done it before. You won't get towed. It's all good. We also, with all of our rentals, is included a house manager to ensure that everything is running smoothly and your event is successful. We have a light and sound tech that we hire for shows at an additional cost, very reasonable. We may be one of the only venues that is located on the Walk of Fame. So we have a lot of foot traffic, and any show that is going to be happening at us, we would do free digital billboard advertising on our giant TVs that are on Hollywood Boulevard. So you get a lot of people walking by, seeing the billboards for the shows and inquiring about buying tickets and getting info for those shows. And then we have a giant lobby in our theater, which is just ideal for pre and post shows, a lot of spaces. Unfortunately, once you get out of them, you're sort of stranded on the side of the street and talking to an agent or a manager or somebody that is, you want to have a serious conversation with. We will have a lobby with a concession stand with a dedicated bartender there, so you guys can have a comfortable pre and post show to talk business with any industry folk. And then other than that, we have some additional add-ons that can be added on, as far as like additional security or customizable chalk art on our wall, or a selfie wall, or a red carpet with a photographer. You can really go all out at our venue, so just contact us. We have plenty of options for you.
I lost my mic, so we'll just go down the other way. Next
We got it back.
Oh my gosh, no. How kind. But I just wanted to quickly, in one sentence, talk about post-festival so that we can get to some questions. How do you guys close the books at your venue? And, which is, I don't know, we ask it every year, and it's just basically like, what happens after Fringe?
We're hosting in the encore. I mean, we host our venue through the encores. You bet.
And you guys?
Yeah. So we do a best of Broadwater extension where we have a sort of a jury of our company members, the Second Falls Theater company members, who will see all the shows in our venue. We'll probably have about 80 productions in our venue, and then we'll select 15 to 20 shows smattered throughout our spaces that win Best of Broadwater, and then they get. We have a Best of Broadwater weekend where we give them one or two performances free. I can say free, right? Is that money? Free performances. It's the absence of money. So we give them the space for a couple more performances free of charge, so that they can, recoup their money. We can all get bathed in their success, and we have a little concentrated, like 3-day mini Best of festival. And then we don't really do a lot of open-ended extensions. We're already get very booked up after. There is room for some things. So, last year, 2 or 3 shows did one more night in August, or so we're not close to that, but we can't sort of have open-ended because of our rest of our scheduling. So we kind of blow it out on that weekend.
The encores, you can apply from any venue, including Broadwater, any space for the encores. There are several venues up here. Any of you who aren't encores, if you want to talk about it, I'm here. Each venue manager will pick shows to extend 1-2 days in July, anytime in July. Each venue works out their own deal with that. There are examples of shows extending beyond that. All of us have extended shows throughout the year, so it is a nice opportunity to get more press, agents, managers, people in it. In addition, I am scouting and booking agent for the Soho Playhouse in New York City. So every year, Darren Lee Cole from the Soho Playhouse is scouting shows from 7 different festivals from around the world. He's included Hollywood Fringe on his stop. Last year he picked 2 shows. 2 years ago we picked 4 shows to join 13 others in New York City in the winter for a 1-month festival. 1 show from that festival gets chosen for a 6-week run in the Soho Playhouse off Broadway the following year. 2 years ago, one of the shows that came from the Hollywood Fringe, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, which was at LGBTQ Center, won that 6-week run. Just finished their long run last year, and 2 shows, Pockets and Mill Brew, just finished up their run, and they haven't announced a new show. So that's the encore.
In our venues, we're part of the encores. Studio Stage is our main venue, and then we manage the other 2 for other spaces, other organizations. So last year we did encores at the arena as well. It just sort of depends on the school's schedule. We work with them, but all of our shows in all of our spaces will be eligible for the encores. And if we need to move them, we will move them to Studio Stage, and then we would, give you free tech and whatnot, and just make that happen. So yeah, we'll make it work. That's the story.
And you could sign up, like I said, for the asylum booking, or send out other forms to make sure to get a judgment.
And we're also part of the encores, and also have been known to extend things beyond July, depending on the audience and how well the show is doing. We did Klingon Tamberlane came out of Fringe last year and then ran through October, so it was really fun, and it's fun to see shows kind of take off that way.
Yeah, and the New American Theater we were part of the encores last year, and we had a couple shows that did encores, and outside of that, if a show is going really well and a Fringer wants to continue, we will look for ways to work that out.
Yeah, the Hudson participates in the encores as well. Then it's kind of business as usual. That tapers off, and larger productions and longer day.
Since this is our first year, TBD.
We'll talk.
We've had shows that have gone on to running up to a year and a half in our venue afterwards, doing late night spots, and then we've had shows that played in the West End right afterwards. So we had one that toured Russia. So lots of stuff can happen, and it's pretty exciting when it does for everybody. So Fringe is, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, and again, this is our first year for Fringe, so we're looking forward to making a lot of mistakes that we'll never make and learning from those. It's a learning curve.
So before we open it up to questions, is there anything else you guys are burning to talk about? Or also, if not, what's a good way for Fringers to get on the good side of your venue? Burning question first. Yeah, or comment.
It's hard to answer all these questions. You forget half of them.
Yeah.
We have an open house at the Zephyr Theater this Saturday before the town hall from 3:30 to 4:30, open doors. Then we have an open house at the Lounge Theater because you move you closer to the Broadwater, which is where the town hall is. We have an open house from 5 to 6:15, and then 6:30 town hall at Broadwater. And then there was another. What was the last question?
Oh, it's just how does somebody get in good with your venue?
Just don't be a jerk.
Don't be a jerk.
Roll the punch.
And it seems
let
like
us know ahead of time if there's something odd. Like I just had somebody told me that they're going to have to release 50 tennis balls, which is fine, but I need to know that.
Right.
I have to say that's a good thing, or these are my concerns with that. Can we address those prior to booking? Don't keep it a secret and then all of a sudden spring up this odd thing that you have.
it sounds weird. It might sound crazy that we're saying don't be a jerk, but like we really mean it. Be super nice to everyone. Be nice to your stage manager. Tell your cast to be nice to your stage manager and the staff, because we all want everyone to do well. And everyone will have a venue orientation meeting, and there'll be a whole ton of rules, and it'll seem like, oh my gosh, there's all these rules about loading in and loading out and time and this and that. But it's all to make sure that you guys are successful. So,
To protect you.
yeah, be nice to everyone.
Yeah, I would add with communication, let us know things up ahead. Read everything that gets sent to you. All of us want your show to be the best. So if you give us time, we deal with a lot of people, we can solve your problems. And really read everything, get back to us quickly, be aware that we're dealing with so many people.
And read your contract.
Yes.
Yeah, read it,
Please
starting with the contract.
read the
Be
things.
aware.
I have something that has happened a few times, and I think maybe this will ring true for some of the veteran venue owners, and that is that if you do a contract with a venue, but maybe you haven't put down a deposit, and then you decide to go to a different venue and actually do a contract and put down a deposit, and don't tell the venue that you did the first contract with that you have done so. It does cause a bit of a problem for that venue, unnecessary. You know, be honest about it. We're not in that huge amount of competition where we're going to be like, you did what? We're just going to go, thanks for telling us. Now we know we have these slots open that we can now sell to someone else. So if you would just be as transparent as possible, I think that's what all we would like to be with you, is transparent as possible about what you can expect.
And we do talk with each other.
Yes. We do.
That's what we are. We all know. So we're
I didn't know that.
We just met him.
So the other thing I would add is that
next week's at the Ren, right?
that a lot of you look at these theaters and there's 4 spaces, or even, it usually comes down to like one person booking. So and
here we are.
Yeah. So it all comes from a great place because everyone's very excited. But over the next 4, 5, 6 weeks, just be kind to us. If it takes 3 or 4 days to get back to you, it's only because you're in a line. We're trying to get to everyone. So don't. It's great to follow up. If you haven't heard, but don't take it personally if it takes a little while, or if oftentimes I'll get the response I need in 30 seconds, and then it takes me another 5 hours to get back.
Yeah.
You know, and so from the renter's point of view, they're like, he's sitting there, and why doesn't he answer me? And it's only because there's 50 people I'm talking to, you know. So just be kind to us.
And the other regular business of it.
Yes.
Yes.
And also be kind to the other shows in your venue. We really encourage everyone to see as many shows as you can, and certainly see all the shows in your venue, because those are really all of your colleagues, and everyone's show is the most important. We have a doorbell at Studio Stage, where we have a parking lot in the back for artists as well. But our back door is locked until the stage manager opens it and tells people, come on in, load in for your show. But there is a doorbell next to that door. And I put a big sign, I know, and I put a big sign on that now that says, I will fine you $50 if you ring this doorbell, and I will take that $50 and I will give it to the show that you ruined.
I have a pair of wire cutters.
Yeah, I might have to do that. But that's just one of those things of, like, you know, and usually all rules that you see are because of something.
Yeah.
And because during a really, you know, dramatic moment in a show that was still running, you hear bing, 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 because my show goes on in an hour, and so you have to let me in. That's not your load-in time. We know you're out there. We know the schedule. So just be really kind to everyone and all the other shows as well. Everyone is the most important, we promise.
Rule number one, don't be a jerk.
That all comes back to that rule.
Do any of our burning? Okay, go.
I have a Bernie thing. I just want Bernie. I think I'm here, Bernie. Listen, this is one of the first of the great panels and workshops that will start taking place. I do teach a 3-hour intensive of how to produce a Hollywood Fringe show. If you are interested, it's every Saturday starting after this week, 1 to 4 o'clock. Go through everything from budget to awards. Following the workshop, I do a tour of all 8 of our spaces. So if you see the workshop, do a tour, or just join us at 4 o'clock to do a tour. We'll give you everything you need to know.
Burning? Anybody else burning, especially for those who haven't spoken yet? No? Great, awesome. So for questions, if you have anything that's specific to you or your show, let's try and hold that, or specific to a venue, let's try and hold that for right afterwards. Many of us will be standing around waiting to talk to you. Otherwise, many of them have given up their contacts, or you can contact them through the Fringe site. So keep it general, but if you have any questions, now's the time. Cool.
So do all of you do an open house? Because not everybody talks about an open house. So my question is, do you have to sign up ahead of time for the open house, or do you just show up at the time for the open house? And how do we find out when everybody's open houses are?
I have a flyer with all my open houses on it tonight, so I'll hand you one. Okay. And you can just show up to any of those.
Does anybody require that you sign up ahead of time for one?
We don't. We're just Tuesday, Thursday, 3 to 6 or by appointment.
Yeah. And you got a flyer, but how else?
It's on the site for us.
Yeah, the Fringe is going to start publishing venue tour information in February in our newsletters as well.
Okay.
We don't have an open house, so we're just by appointment. I mean, you can show up, but like Monica said, the spaces might be full. So you just reach out and we work out a time where, you know, the space you want to see, it's empty. I'll put you in the calendar so that whoever's on site knows you're coming and we'll show the spaces.
We don't have any open houses being talking. We don't have any open houses scheduled yet, but if you go on the Fringe site, you know, when you click on venues, sometimes you can find out where the open houses are by clicking on the Fringe site and going to each specific venue. And then, for most people. And then regarding tours, you could just email us and we'd set up a tour. Our tours are usually on Saturday afternoons. It takes about, the person who does the tours over there, Joe, I'm putting him on the spot. It depends on how many questions you have. If you have no questions, you can zip in and out in 1 minute. No, I'm totally kidding. No, probably about 15. I would schedule 15 to 20 minutes, you know, so you can see the space and look, you know, peek in the booth and peek in the dressing room and sit in a seat in the audience and stand on stage and look up and look out.
Our tour takes a little longer. It's because it's 8 spaces, can take 2 hours.
I've done your tour. It's
It's
fun.
fun, right? You meet people.
You rent a bus?
Yeah, bus champagne, caviar. We do it at the asylum. It's really nice.
Do we have any other questions? Cool.
Do any of these venues have a cabaret license?
Good question. I will investigate Black. I believe Black will have one. And not one
That's
of the,
kind of like a stand-up sort of space though, right?
correct.
It's a bar.
It's a bar. And then
Then,
I don't know what the deal is with 3 clubs.
I already contacted them and they say they're not sure. They're gonna be a hangout venue this
Okay,
year.
okay. But they're not necessarily booking.
Correct.
Can you clarify, just because I'm not sure, a cabaret license would be specific to alcohol sales?
To like ASCAP and BMI money, so people can perform music that they don't necessarily have access to. So nobody
So it's for song rights.
Oh.
So you get a
Like a
BMI. So all the main
music
labels. I think you may want to search for one of the things
Yeah,
that
like
is
Rockwell
up
or
there.
someplace
But
like
yeah.
that. Okay. Don't think me rude, that's only one its own little beef.
Sure, yeah.
I can't do my show.
I was just wondering, what's a good time frame to be booked by?
The guide deadline is April 1st, and then you have April 1st.
Mid-March,
And
I
that's-
think it starts getting panicky.
Yeah, but for the Fringe to be listed in our Hollywood Fringe guide, which is very important, you have to be in by April 1st.
But in terms of venues filling up, it depends on the venue, but I mean, in my experience, March, they're.
Mid-March it gets crazy. That's it.
So before mid-March is.
People are starting now. It's definitely, I think we've seen the influx. After January 15th seems to be the big, once the scholarship deadline goes up. Yeah, but by March we're pretty hairy.
But because we do first come, first serve, I mean, we do our packages and we spread it out so you can't just pick exactly what you want. But things start filling up. So the longer you wait, the less choices, the fewer choices you might have.
The harder it is to move things.
And we're booking pretty hard.
Yeah, this is go time. We're booking pretty hard.
Is anyone, I think Lauren waits to book. Is anyone else besides that not first come, first serve? For the venues?
Not first come.
Like, most venues are first come, first serve.
First serve, yeah. We start booking. I don't give them right away, but I layer them in as you come in. We book.
Gonna go with the hat right there.
Hi, I was wondering for new, for new fringers who have not done this process before, what's something that they wish they would have known at the beginning rather than finding out through it and then towards the end?
That's a good question.
Philosophical.
Well, I always tell everyone, you get out of Fringe what you put into it. So for instance, I've seen some really, really great shows where people are new and they're excited and they do a great show, but then their whole cast just goes home. And those shows don't do very well. But if you have a show, even if you have like an okay show, but you're a great group of people and you go out and you see other shows, you get involved and you do all the social things and you talk to other people, you're going to do better than maybe a really, really good show that everyone just shows up, does their show, and goes home. That's
In other words, make sure that your cast and yourself are ready to commit to going out and personally promoting your show.
Yeah.
Not only at the office hours that the Fringe throws every week soon, and or every month it's first, and also the workshops are a good place to start meeting people. Any kind of hangout, any kind of way to get together with other Fringers. It's going to help your show.
I would definitely ask that question to our producers workshops, which continue throughout the next couple of months. We're going to have so many more of these where we'll have panels of past participants who have won awards and gone on to do further runs. We'll give you their best advice about that too.
Those are great.
Yeah, Fringe is about, really quickly, Fringe is about community, so you have to at first fall into that sense of community to get the most out of it.
Yeah, it's really interesting. It's not 25 years producing normal theater, if that makes any sense.
Regular season.
Yes, regular season theater. Yeah, there's got to be a better way to say it. Fringe is different in that, well, theater is already a social animal, it's a social art, but you have to be extra social for Fringe. You know, it's really good to go to the events and meet people and talk with other artists because there's a lot of cross-pollination and audience members and support. So, you know, you hand me your card, I hand you my card, and we see each other's shows. It's really that kind of community. So make sure you take advantage of it.
And you, as mostly being producers, it's really important for you to pass that down to your team, as Monica said, to get your cast and everyone. And the pitches, it's not just them doing the show, your show, it's also for their career. They get to meet venue managers. They get to meet other directors, writers. Every year, you'll see like the cross-pollination. People meet each other at these office hours and start planning their Fringe show for next year. So it's really everybody. LA, you know, is a networking town. Fringe is the networking event of the networking town. Everybody in that bar is doing the same thing you are. You go up to them, they're in the same boat you are, and it's an amazing, you know, LA can be tough. It's really amazing what Fringe brings to the community.
Especially, and think about it this way too, if that sounds super overwhelming, these are the people that you can go reach out to when you're at these events. If they're there, if I'm there, I'm always there to connect you with shows that are similar to yours. I have like this Rolodex of all these people that you can talk to.
And the easiest thing that you can do is ask someone else about their show first. If someone comes up to me and just shoves a postcard in my hand, come see my show. I'm probably not gonna. But if someone engages me first for real, then that's a much better way to do that. And it's also if you have people in your cast, or if you are not someone who feels super comfortable networking, that's a great way to start doing it.
We call it building friendships.
Yeah.
I've seen people, and this might be right for some shows, so I'm not disparaging it, but I've seen people, especially new fringers, try to spend a lot of money on some like citywide marketing campaign, or like they're trying to get this huge rather than like looking at how many seats you're trying to fill. I'm trying to fill 200 seats. Well, I have 40 friends I know that are coming no matter what. Right. So now I have 160 people to get. That really is sort of one-on-one. It's not panicked, I need billboards. It's I'm talking to you, and I'm talking to you, and that's how you can fill your house. And it's free.
Yeah. Any other burning comments?
I would keep it to also, think about what your one-line pitch is for your show. If you're in a discussion with someone, of course you can go deeper, but to begin, to have something shorter, instead of, say, cornering someone at office hours and giving them the entire plot of the play that is already a published play, so everyone kind of knows it. I would just caution you to not do that, and instead just do the one line.
More questions? Yep. Oh, yeah, you can go in the front, and then we'll go in the back.
Yeah, I know. Hi, sorry. Wanted to know if any of your spaces have gender non-conforming or gender neutral restrooms.
We have one restroom.
We have one restroom.
There you go.
We have 2 restrooms.
Most of us only have one, so no.
We have a gender.
We have a few, but yeah.
The arena has 3, I think, 3 or 4, and several of them are just do whatever you want.
I think our restrooms are pretty much all like, like we're at home. All of our restrooms are gender neutral.
5, they're all gender neutral.
We're all friends.
5.
Wow.
Secret.
We have one back here. Yes.
Hi, I'm Layla Abdo. My show is From A to Zatar. It's a food diary through my quarter-life crisis about location. So I'm serving food. I assume I'm responsible for getting a food license at every venue. Is that correct, or is it weeble wobbly at some places, like the Broadwater has a bar?
What are you, is it?
I'm serving Lebanese food. Yeah, I'm making a big Lebanese dinner, and then I'm just literally going to be serving it to the audience.
Is it free? Like, is it included?
It's included in the ticket. If you're coming to the show, you're
think
eating.
that's generally okay. We had a show at Studio Stage last year. I think we've emailed.
Yes,
you
have.
Hello. Hello. We have a full kitchen at Studio Stage as well. But we had a show last year called Pho Girl, and she cooked live on stage. And then at the end, it smelled amazing. And then at the end of the show, she would give everyone samples. And it was not a problem at all. We didn't have a problem with it. We generally say, like, if there's any licensing involved, such as that, we assume you have it, but we won't ask you. But if anyone asks us, we're going to point them to you.
Great.
How about that?
Love it.
There you go.
Fire license?
Yeah.
You need that.
Right.
Yes, we had a burlesque show that had fire in it. You need that.
Yeah. But like handing out some free samples is
the insurance.
Okay.
Question. Yeah.
Accessibility, are your venues accessible?
Depends on the venue.
Yeah. This is fully ADA compliant. AD.
It'll be on your websites, whether you're...
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Okay. Thank
the
you,
Fringe
guys.
site, I think, has a special, I think there's an icon of the switch for that too.
Great. Thank you.
My show has a pretty palpable sword fight in it.
Yes.
Do any of you guys like have certain like stage fight stage choreographers that you make as
We can certainly suggest them to you.
Yeah,
There are
suggest
very
them.
good ones in town. I know I have a few work at our venue. So there's always people out there that can do that. Would highly recommend you find it.
Yeah, I have several people I can recommend to you.
Yeah, find someone liability.
Yeah, hi there. A few of you were mentioning that in your venues that you do a big musical. What do you consider big?
I think it's a difference of what size stage it is. I just had an old client come back to me and want to do a 15-person Fringe musical, and I suggested that he find a larger venue, only because I think that 15 people on one of our stages is a bit crowded, and would be crowded backstage, and that's just no fun for anyone.
So probably 10 to 12 people?
But 10 would work in our space.
They're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
You know, we've had musicals in all of our spaces, even
Yeah.
the 21-seat theater. We've had musicals.
Yeah.
But
It's just the cast
our
size.
big space, we can do 15 with a 5 or 6 person band.
I think it also depends on what kind of music you have with it, whether it's acoustic or you have a band. Yeah, that would depend.
Yeah.
We can hold a live orchestra and about 40 cast members on our stage. Yeah. The main stage is set up for a musical.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We've done it. Yeah. Or 45 children.
Yeah, the arena is very big. That could hold a lot. Studio stage, we've had huge musicals on there. We did a Spider-Man musical with a full band that was up in the booth. We have a very large booth that hooked into our sound system, and we have 6.1 surround sound, so that worked out really well there. We also had a show a couple years ago called Nothing Bad, which was a werewolf musical, and I think they had 25 people in it. They were fine. It was fine. No problem.
All werewolves.
There was werewolves.
Also,
definitely with something like I say tour. Go
Yeah,
use the
check
Fringe
it out.
site to check the bigger spaces, and then just tour. You'll know your show.
A lot of it is the backstage because some houses have a large stage, but then backstage is a postage stamp, and part of the magic of the Met is that you can actually accommodate a full cast, and they each have a seat and a mirror to get ready.
Yeah. Same thing at the arena.
All right. Yeah.
This is more of a tech question. You guys talked a lot about it. When it comes to cue counts, do you guys have like a number that's a maximum for that, or it just depends on the theater?
Unlimited.
But our stage manager, be aware, like an hour or so, having 360 cues or something.
Yeah.
And being aware at Fringe is about the writing and the directing and all that. That's a priority. I don't think anybody
Most SMs only have 2 hands.
Yeah, Fringe, you aim for tech light.
Also, just to let you know, if like tech is something that you're very terrified about, the Hollywood Fringe hosts a workshop as one of our producers' workshops, which is How to Tech Your Fringe Show. It's still available from past years, and we will continue to do that. And so if you have any tech questions, you can ask them then.
Right, and I think most venues have a rep plot, right, for Fringe.
Oh, yes.
Right, so keep that in mind as well.
Okay, great. Okay, next one. Or wait,
2 more.
there's a new one there. Go.
Oh, hey. I was late, so if you already talked about this, don't mind me. I'll talk afterwards. But are like time slots important? Like what time of day or evening you want to? Someone
There's
said
not
that already.
that time slot in Fringe.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all what you make.
You want a variety spread out.
And then,
Although I wouldn't do like a heavily maybe I would choose not to do like something super, super dark and sexual at 12 in the morning. Or maybe I would do that late night, but then again, I don't know. I don't know. I might have some coffee and come over.
Yeah, go ahead.
In terms of just sensitive content, how do you guys as like a theater like address if a certain show has
or do you allow nudity or partial?
Oh,
Are there restrictions or?
Let us talk about
I
it.
kind of insist on it.
Last year at Studio Stage, there was a show that everyone on stage was naked, and the audience was required to be naked, and we were okay with that. All I said was that I just wanted people to wear some sort of footwear so that no one got like splinters. And then we had very exciting audience members that were like totally naked, but like with cowboy boots, which was amazing. We're pretty open.
Most venues are open. I think if it comes down to like a strobe light or anything that could affect the audience's safety, then there has to be warnings and stuff like that and signage.
Gunshots.
Any kind of weapons use or those are it's more like safety issues, not aesthetic.
And in fact, those kind of shows can do, I mean, Disrobe like sold out almost every night. We had a show from Brazil, Marquis de Sade.
Oh,
the
Brazilians.
The Brazilian. This was like 5 years ago. It's still haunting me. So that's what's great about Fringe.
More questions before we have to go? Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a stage manager attached to our show who's going to be at like rehearsals, running things and getting ready to call cues. Is it cool to like pay y'all for the stage manager attached, but then have our stage manager actually be in there who knows the show, pressing the GO?
No pressing.
No pressing, but calling.
They can't touch it, but they can call.
Any more pressing questions? No, awesome. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of more announcements, and then please feel free to come and talk to any of us afterwards. I'm Ellen, the Community Programs Director for the Fringe, which I forgot to say earlier. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you so much to John for hosting us here at Thymely Arts. A beautiful space.
There's beer and wine.
There's beer and wine for sale at the bar, and please stay around and have a drink with us. We have more upcoming events that I'm just going to keep talking about. We have the town hall on Saturday at the Broadwater at 6:30 p.m. Our next office hours, which is a great way to come network and meet people in the community, is going to be Tuesday, February 11th. From 7 to 10 at the Broadwater Plunge. You guys are popular this month. We're going to be sending out more emails with information about this and other open houses. So please make sure that you're getting emails from info@hollywoodfringe.org. If you have signed up and you're not getting them, search info@hollywoodfringe.org inside of your thing, your email, and add us to your contacts, and then we'll stop going to your spam. Please start using the hashtag HFF20. Follow us on social media at hollywoodfringe.org. We're running a donor campaign. Please donate to us, and we're done.